I'm back and I am alive. Welcome back to the channel. For those who are subscribed or seen my videos are wondering, where's this guy been? If I had to be frank and straight, kinda lost, kinda overwhelmed, and I'll tell you all about it. But I felt like I should take you to a very special place here to me in Bokete to do that. So let's do this, shall we? By the way, when last have you heard this? Okay, we're here, and before we get into my story, just take a look at this place.
Back in the day. Back in the day.
This place is for sale, by the way, and I have a couple ideas for it, but that's for another vlog. But pretty amazing, right? Okay, enough fluff. Back to the stories. Okay, so where have I been? I've been a bit lost. Been through some stuff, did a lot of things, got sick, got injured, had a couple trips, which I'll tell you all about. But the extended version of this, the whole thing would be in the Patreon account. If you want to support me there, you can head over to this link. But the short, concise, and summarized version is going to be here on YouTube. So, without further ado, let's pick up where we left off in October, shall we? For those of you who have not been here before, my name is Richard. I started this vlog when I was stranded in Panama during the COVID pandemic throughout the world. And as a result, I ended up just going on a bunch of adventures here in Panama, falling more and more in love with it, and then eventually starting an adventure business here. I kind of wanted to have a platform to show the world all the versatility and the multifaceted country that Panama is. So that's the summarized version. If you want to see from the beginning how I ended up here in Panama and what that was like, you can click on the link above. Last time you heard from me, I was in Trinidad and Tobago, about to kick off the adventure tours and having a trial run of that. And I had a couple competition winners. I ran a competition to be able to join us on the trial run, and the competition winners came and they had a blast. I have a few vlogs coming up describing the expeditions and some visuals of when they were here and what they did and the fun that they had, etc. So that's coming up. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see those in the future. Okay, let's take this back a little bit to when I started this vlog. I am not a fan of being in front of the camera. I would have mentioned this in a couple of vlogs before. The vlog became an outlet, a creative outlet for me, because this is the business that I do. I do cinematography, etc. I use this as a creative outlet. I pushed myself to be in front of the camera and get comfortable with it, which I still am not. But really and truly, it started as a creative outlet and then grew and grew and grew into something a lot bigger than I expected. To the point where I'm walking down the street on a regular basis, wherever I am in Panama, and meeting people who tell me that they see the vlog. Some people have visited Panama because of my vlog. It really was an outlet, and I committed to running 12 to 18 months of exploration here in Panama to show what it's all about and all the different places that you know people don't really feature in any vlogs or any commercials about Panama. That being said, I started my channel by visiting the nomadic movement, which quite frankly they're the ones that well, along with some of the friends, pushed me to start the vlog, because they have a fantastic channel about them being up in the mountains of Bokete and building and so on and so forth. And the numbers went up immediately because they were able to tag off my link, subscribe to this guy. He's starting adventures in Panama and helping us build on the farm and so on. And that came with a surge of subscribers within the first to second videos that I uploaded. I had a nice little spike as I spoke about Trinidad versus Panama, etc., etc. But then when I really got into the adventure side of it and was showcasing Panama, I felt like the views were starting to dwindle within every release that I put out. So it was a bit of a conflict of passion versus obligation, where I committed to do this thing every week, go on an adventure every week, regardless of what finances looked like, regardless of what was going on in my life. And the scale started tipping in a way that I was not comfortable with. But I still kind of hung in there and did what I needed to do to kind of bring more of Panama to you. So those are some of the reasons why the vlog kind of dropped to the wayside. But let's take it back to being in Trinidad, where I saw some friends, I saw my family, I had a wonderful time at home, I got some stuff done. I didn't get everything that I wanted to get done there, but it was also very short. So after Trinidad, I had to head over to Costa Rica and film over there with some friends, and I have some visuals for that coming up soon. It was a wonderful trip. Costa Rica actually reminds me a lot of the western side of Panama here in Boquete. There's a lot about it that reminds me of here, but then there's also a lot about it that reminds me of the coastal Pacific, Playa Banao and so on, except a little more developed. That's coming up in a future vlog. So after Costa Rica, I ended up back in Panama to start my trial run of the Adventure Expedition tours. It went really well. The folks had a wonderful time, and the trial tour did what it was supposed to do. So for those who haven't been on the channel before and are wondering what I'm referring to, I was able to launch a venture here called Rich Adventure Expeditions here in Panama. And it's a 7-day tour that runs from Panama City, nightlife, Panama Canal, etc., all the way across to here in Boquete, and a number of points of interest in between, where you get to do rock climbing, kayaking, surfing, some off-roading, 4x4 action, visit some of the largest waterfalls here in Panama, etc., etc. It's fantastic. I have a lot of content about that coming up in the next couple of weeks. But in January, as in literally the beginning of January, New Year's Day, I started my second tour with a family of 5, and they absolutely loved every aspect of it. It ran for 16 days, more than double my 7-day tour, but I was able to tailor it just to accommodate them because it was a small number of people. Halfway through the tour, I got COVID, but I was only affected, really affected by it for maybe the first 3 or 4 days. And for the other 2 weeks, I had just gone into planning mode because I was feeling great, but I had to stay quarantined within the apartment. So after having COVID and getting over it pretty quickly, for some reason, in the week after my quarantine, when I started getting back out there, I got a relapse of the symptoms of COVID, and that took me out for maybe an entire week again. Challenge after challenge coming into 2022, you know, because during the days that I was getting over the symptoms of COVID the second time around, I heard of a friend of mine in Trinidad, a really good friend of mine, passing away. Hearing about her passing away took a whole lot of wind out of my sail, coming out of all those illnesses and all of that. I would admit that stopped me from doing anything for a long time. I had a very difficult time coming to terms with it, facing it. For weeks I couldn't see photos of her. I stopped being on social media. I had plans of restarting the vlog back then when it happened, and everything dropped. And it took every ounce of courage to eventually not only get back out and start putting the camera on again and start back with the business venture and start back with just life in general, and even just facing the fact that she's no longer with us, it took a lot out of me. So those were the challenges coming into 2022. It was kind of weird. Of course, the whole thing with numbers spiking after Christmas here, I couldn't run the tour on the months that I wanted to, which would have been January, February, March. I wanted to run the tour during those months, but because I got COVID and then there was a huge spike here in Panama, so people weren't traveling as much. There was a spike in the US with this whole new Omicron thing, and then the whole Ukraine and Russia thing happening now just kept pushing things back. But I'm at a point now where I feel like there are no excuses. This is the time to really push, get things done, and get back to the mission that I had in the first place, which is to feature Panama on a global stage in the various platforms and strategies to do that. So we're back. I'm going to be vlogging. I'm going to be putting out marketing material for the expeditions. However, I will not be able to do a vlog every single week the way I had committed to that 12 to 18 months of adventures back in 2020. But I will be featuring a number of things over the next, well, the vlog is not going to stop. It's just not going to be as consistent as a vlog every week. I will be putting up things like I already have 2 vlogs edited, ready to go for the next couple of weeks. So there'll be a little consistency there, but then there are other things that I'll be involved in that's going to take me away from doing the vlog every single week. So the vlog is still going to live, it's still going to run. There's a lot to show and feature coming up, so look out for it. So to wrap this up, next week's vlog is already edited and uploaded, and next week Saturday it will be released. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in that, and make sure to click the notification bell when you do, or tap it on your phone if you're looking from your devices, because there are a lot of people who have said that they were not even aware of videos being uploaded because they were not getting the notifications, which probably affected numbers as well. But you know, just be sure that when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I do upload my releases. I'll take this opportunity now to thank everyone who has viewed my videos, subscribed to the channel, been my sponsor. Thank you to my sponsors. You all have been rock stars when I was very much down and out. You all have been very supportive. Thank you to my vendors again for the expeditions that are coming up. Thank you to my patrons, last but not least. I do have a Patreon account and I have not been consistent, or I don't think I've actually uploaded anything there in a long time. My Patreon account is there to kind of support me in running not only the YouTube channel, but getting things up and running here in Panama, because I'm very committed to being here for a long time and doing a lot here. So there's a lot of legal things that I need to take care of before I can really do everything that I need to do here. And until that point, your support has been golden. So thank you very much to my patrons. You all have really helped me financially. You all have really helped me emotionally throughout my entire 2 years of COVID lockdown and then starting these new ventures and so on. You all have been really, really helpful. I don't know how I would have done it without you. So thank you very much. I have a couple things to upload in the Patreon section over the next coming weeks too, including the long extended version of this. And I'm getting back to the series that I started, which is People of Panama. So I have quite a number of very interesting characters and individuals here in Panama that I would like to showcase. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks as well on the Patreon side of things. If you are willing or wanting to subscribe to my Patreon and support me on a monthly basis while I get things up and running here, you can at the link below. It's also in the description below. Thank you to those who have been kind of asking me on Instagram, in the comments of the YouTube channel, who have been messaging me on WhatsApp if I'm okay, if I'm alive, is everything fine. Each and every one of you, it meant a lot for you to reach out to me to find out if everything was okay. I appreciate you more than you realize. So thank you everybody for your support and your concern. I'm alive, I'm okay, and I'm happy to start back doing this and bringing these videos to you. So see you next week. Let's do this.